7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Are you ready?
Welcome to Hardaway Wrestling. You know what's funny? I just hit the lever on my chair. What is going on? It is our Rumble recap show, and I am so excited because we have what I like to call Frosty's better half, Steve from the Independent Rewind.
Hey, yeah, that's right, baby.
This guy here, he's the bread and butter, the backbone of the Independent Rewind. We are certainly glad to have him. Steve, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for that beautiful intro. You forgot 3-time heavyweight champion, 4-time tag team champion, 2-time United States champion. Yeah, little stuff. You forgot all that stuff.
Listen, I didn't want to put you in the same category as the Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, Mr. Perfect.
Well, at least, we'll at least call him the Ruffles to the Maker's Mark.
That is for today.
Yes,
we'll get into
that.
Yeah.
So I will say this. You brought up. You said the backbone to the Independent Rewind. I will say this, and it's the only time I'm going to talk well about Rob tonight, and that is I'm the sizzle. I'm the sizzle. He's the steak. Okay. Right. So like, I'm the personality. I'm this, but he does all the backbone to the channel. He does all the uploading, all the everything else. All I do is show up and turn it on, baby. That's it. He does everything else.
He may be the steak, but my God, is he a fatty steak, man? He's more fat than steak.
Oh, dude, you get some bacon off his back for sure.
Listen, as a talent myself, I figure we don't ever turn it off, Steve. We are 100% go all the time, and we are just ready to roll. Zinger for zinger for zinger. I was just telling my girlfriend on the way home, I said, you know what? The toughest part about being with people like Steve is I got to keep up, and I got to make him keep up.
I don't even try anymore, and I mean that. I mean that like as humble as possible, right? Because I ran into that problem a lot. I don't do a lot of public outings. I don't go to bars and stuff like that because I run into a lot of people who are like, I got to try and keep up with this guy, when they like. And you like, and then you get into this one-upsmanship, and then you add alcohol, and it's just a violent affair. So
I just make out with people. You're safe here. I just make out with people.
It's easy when you're at an all-guy bar, but I go to bars with women and men, so it gets a little dicey.
As you say, I go to bars. So I mean, you can say you can go to bars with men and women all you want. If you don't go, you don't go. Driving by now isn't the same thing.
I just yell out the window. Yeah. Bitches.
Oh, we're okay. Anyway, we got tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about the Independent Rewind. I've been on your show, which was awesome. We had a good time. But tell the people out here in Hard On Land about the Independent Rewind.
So the Independent Rewind is just this little channel that Rob and I decided to do right at the beginning of the pandemic. Yeah, that was well brought up. We started doing it right at the beginning of the pandemic. So we've been doing it since March 2020. And every Saturday at noon, we drop a video where we review independent wrestling, not major wrestling. We don't watch anything from WWE, TNA, ROH, New Japan, WWE, none of that. We don't touch it. We only do independent wrestling. Now you may see some bigger names that, there are on the indies, right? So you may see some stuff like that, but for the most part, we just try to review independent wrestling matches. We do not watch the videos beforehand, so we have no idea what we're getting into. So sometimes we wind up with some really, really wild stuff. You were on, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes we run into some very wild situations. And we just try to add a little twist to it and some comedy to it. Some people think we're being a little rough. Sometimes we're a little soft, but everything we do, we just try to have a lot of fun with. And we value it at one match at a time. So it doesn't matter if this turned out to be the greatest wrestler on the planet. If they had a bad match, it's a bad match, and we're going to roast it. So yeah, that is once again, like you said, it's Independent Rewind. You can find us at Gmail, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, everything. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I hope you guys come by and check it out sometime.
So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do this together, right? I'm not even gonna tell you what we're about to do, but I know what you're gonna know immediately because the Independent Rewind is on the march to 1,000.
That's right, baby. We're trying to hit them 1,000 subscribers. So make sure that you slide over to the Independent Rewind and subscribe to the videos. We really appreciate it. Send us a little 10-second clip of why you might hate the Independent Rewind. We'll use you as an intro, baby.
So Hardway Wrestling is on the march to 10. That's where we're at. not as well established as the Independent Rewind, but we're gonna get there one day. So
you guys are moving up, man. I love. Listen, your content. It's a little. I will say it's a little longer of a format for me. I've got real bad like ADHD, so I watch for 5-10 minutes here, 5-10 minutes there, because I'm always moving. But you guys are getting interactions. You guys are getting people talking and replying and commenting, and you're pumping out a ton of content, so people can set their watches to you and be like, "Oh, there should be a new Hardway any day now." Boom, there it is. Right. So I think that's wonderful, and it's really, really solid.
But you don't always have to watch our ugly faces. You could just pop that earbud in and go to Spotify.
Yep.
And listen to us.
I pop it in when you guys are live on YouTube. When I did last week when I was cleaning the garage. So.
Hardway Wrestling and trash clean out is like they go hand in hand. That's what.
Well, I will say.
I was about to say Chucky had vacuum cleaner shit going on. He said so. We must work well with chores.
Yeah.
No offense, guys, but you do a lot better without the video. You guys got a face for radio for sure.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. That's why I like to run with a blank screen every once in a while. Just it helps things. So we got a chance to go over. Steve invited us over to his house for the Rumble this weekend. And again, appreciate that. Ricky and I know we had a great time. Scotty, you were invited. We talked about
and no showed.
Couldn't make it out. I was too far away, and I wasn't driving the hour to come out there. So
too far away, an hour.
That's all right. There were extra ribs for me to take home.
Did you tell the guy that drives a truck or does trucking stuff that you were too far away and you drove an hour when I drove an hour? Hey, no worries. We had he had an awesome chair for you to sit in. Hoping you would show up.
I tried to sit in it. I sat in it for about 20 minutes and my back was blown. You'd just taken a nap. That'd have been it. It was just nope. I couldn't sit in it.
I think at one point during the Rumble, I started to nod, and I can't remember what match it was. I actually think it was that Logan Paul match that I started to nod a little bit. I was like, and I just looked at the chair like, man, I just wish I could just curl up in that thing right now.
I think from now on, what we need to do is when we have Rumble parties, we need to everybody black out from social media, and we'll watch it the night after, or even later that day. But at like we'll have a midnight party, and that way we can just watch the Rumble, fast forward through all the matches, and then watch the next Rumble, and do it like that, because the Rumbles, loved watching them. That in between ish, could have done without that. You could cut all that.
We're gonna get to that, but and we're gonna move on here real quick. I'm sure people. Is there anybody out there? Okay, 3 people are on there watching on Facebook right now, and
yeah,
2 people.
It's us.
Oh, it's us. Perfect.
Anyway. I'm showing 1 in the live chat on YouTube. That's me.
I've been a voyeur forever, so I'm good with watching myself. So anyway, great time at Steve's house, except for one thing. One thing happened that I probably am scarred. A lot of us are scarred for life. His partner, his cohort, Frosty Rob Wells, decided he was going to bring over generic potato chips. And I got to say, Members Mark potato chips. I nothing says cheap like generic potato chips.
I've known Rob for many years. We've been best friends for almost like 17 years now. And I told him specifically, that's those God blessed potato chips now. They're awful. No one touched them except for him. No one. This bag still completely uneaten. So I told him specifically, I said, why don't you just bring over some chips? I said, but do not bring generic chips. These need a name brand. He's like, well, whatever. Great Value is a name brand. No, it's not.
Members Mark is
they need to be Doritos or Cheetos or Ruffles, something. And he, in his defense, he brought Doritos. He brought, I don't remember, jalapeno kettle cooks, which was my specific choice. I pounded the rest of that bag on the way to New York today. I don't feel good. It's not good. It's bad indigestion. And then he showed up with these and he brought dips that require regular chips. So no one even got to eat his freaking dips because he had stupid Maker's Mark. You know what? Move past it. I'm mad. Okay. I'm gonna get worked up.
I'm sorry. I honestly didn't mean to bring it up. I apologize.
And who brings dip to a party and doesn't bring a hell of a good French onion?
Right. What was the dip that he brought?
He had a cheddar bacon. What? I didn't see that.
Yeah, well, he was the only one that was eating it. So
Rob's the type of person who will like spoon. he'll eat ketchup with a spoon off his. Like he is that guy. He's the guy who goes to Texas Roadhouse and just butters his tongue. He's like, oh, that's cinnamon butter. That's real good.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
We will not be putting any dinners on the corporate card with Rob. That's for sure.
He's got the picture up.
I know. I love it. He's a cheap date. That's for sure. Oh, I kept doing this. I'm going to find out. I'm watching the YouTube channel right now. Am I pointing it?
You're the only one that can do it. Everybody else points the wrong way. I do it too.
Well,
oh no, I did it right. It's the opposite. Yeah.
I'm pointing down at the bottom because on this screen, I'm top left. On YouTube, I'm bottom right. So now I'll just point to the side right here. This is Rob's stupid face. Punch it. Man, when just come through Scotty. Bonk.
Yeah, this is our version of Brady Bunch. We had our video the other day. We had Brian Hardy. I think I showed you the clip where Brian was going crazy about Bianca, and he kept looking up and looking over. It's just like our Brady Bunch. All right, we're gonna move on. Royal Rumble recap.
Hold it.
Rob's in the chat.
We have a response.
Okay.
Rob Fox says you guys
have a greasy finger response.
Huh?
We have a greasy finger response.
Yeah, we have the greasy finger response. He says, you guys don't know what good chips are. So,
it's funny.
Not Members Mark.
I work for the potato chip company. And the biggest thing I hear all the time is, why is there so much air in the bag? Well, first off, it's not air, it's gas. But why is there so much air in the bag? Members Mark chips are fucking full all the way to the top. There is no air, and people are begging for fucking air in that bag.
So, all right, hold on, because I gotta. What do you mean gas? Talk to me about what is in a potato chip bag, because here's the thing. I've always assumed, because they say like it settles, right? So I always assumed that extra air or whatever was in there was strictly for shipping purposes, because you didn't want to crumple up the bag, and it looks a lot better, right? The bag looks a lot better. So I wasn't sure what all that was about. What is in the bag? What's in the bag?
What's in the box? I'm not allowed to really tell you because it's like a secret, but it is a gas that they fill into the bag to open it up a little bit. But here's the chip knowledge. It is, if it's 9 ounces of chips, it's 9 ounces of chips, right? It's just in a 15-ounce bag, right? The bag looks bigger because there's room to move and that kind of stuff. So there's not so much. If it's a tight bag like that Maker's Mark bullshit, everything gets crunched up, right? And it allows it. I know your nose turns up every time you say Maker's Mark.
Before it was open, the bag was crumpled. How do you have a crumpled bag before it was open?
Is your mouth watering like you're going to throw up?
No, I've got cotton mouth. It's the exact opposite. It's just dry AF.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it is. And if you look on the back of a bag of Tostitos, it says shelf line, fill line, right? There's a fill line, and then it settles, right? You can see how it settles. So anyway, we're not going into that. Anyway, we're doing the Rumble recap show. We got to see the Royal Rumble this weekend. 4 matches, boys. Is it me or is WWE going the opposite way of AEW? AEW has 73 matches on the card, and WWE has 4.
Well, we knew that was going to happen. The Rumble matches are always an hour.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
has it ever been like 4? Like, it's usually 5, right? 5 is like their sweet spot now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with one being a fatal 4-way, you kind of expected that one to be a little longer too.
Yeah, I
That's
guess.
true.
I guess they, time is time. Bell to bell or curtain to curtain or whatever. They make their own time. So I feel like they could have cut. They could have cut Logan's match short. They could have cut. I heard that the women's Rumble went over in time, so they had to cut.
That's because they didn't know what the hell they were doing in the beginning. How many spots?
Oh my God. Natalia did so bad. Natalia and Trinity.
We're going to talk about Trinity for sure. We're going to talk about.
Just cut those 2 out.
We're going to talk about the Neon Princess. So
Just feel the blow on that.
anyway, let's knock out the other 2 matches first. Let's get into that. First let's check out the chat. Rumble show less is more. Okay, I don't know about that. Yes, they could have done 1 less match. They could have cut it down to 3, and I'd have been happy. Anyway, we're gonna get into it here. We got the Owens Logan Paul match. None of us thought here, I don't think, that Logan Paul was gonna lose his title. What did you think about the ending? We're gonna go right to the ending. What did you think about the brass knuckle spot, Stevie?
Huh?
Go ahead.
No.
No,
I honestly was like, this was the match I enjoyed. Like out of the 2 matches, this is the one I enjoyed the most because they did a spot that was. We've seen it a million times before, but they haven't done it recently. Like there's been very few DQs in wrestling matches in WWE or even in AEW for the last 5-7 years. Like you don't really see DQs that often. So I really enjoyed the idea of, Logan Paul trying to cheat, Owens stopping it and using the knucks himself, and then forgetting to take them off and the ref catching it and giving the DQ, which in my view really opens up the possibility for a rematch at the Chamber. I would love to see that because again, I thought it was a good match. Like they did well. It's a good Owens match. It's not one of Paul's best matches, but it definitely was a good match for Logan Paul. They really got a lot in there and really made it work. And again, Logan is a consummate heel. He's really good at what he does. So to have this go that way, really to kind of like the Owens slipped on the banana peel kind of idea where it didn't work the way he thought. He got bested by something that Logan brought into the ring. So I don't know. I thought it was a great match and really had the more unique finish of the 2. So I was happy about it.
Stevie, what did you think about the ending? This is a little different than what we normally see from WWE.
I loved the old school storytelling to that ending. I'm not always I'm real weird about this, right? Because I definitely don't like super new school wrestling, all the flippy floppy stuff. I think it's too much. That being said, I equally dislike super old school wrestling where it's like a headlock for 14 minutes, right? So I'm really kind of trying to find that in between space, and I feel like this was a very solid, more newer school wrestling match with that older school storytelling finish, and I loved it. Here's the thing. My favorite wrestling match of all time is a coal miner's glove match. And yeah, it's a throwback. This sets up perfectly for that style of match.
Yeah.
You could for sure have the next match where hey, we're going to put the knucks. Now, knowing WWE, it'll be like a ladder style, right? So it'll hang from a ladder or whatever because they don't do such and such on a pole anymore.
Prime on a pole.
Yeah, but knuckles on a pole? That's a coal miner's glove match, baby. That would be great. I would love that. And you could do. Here's the thing. Imagine Paul in one corner running from KO all the way across the ropes without holding on to anybody. Like essentially old school without old school. That would be an awesome spot. That would be a gnarly spot. And then, of course, you know, the amount of top rope antics that you could do in that setting where you, and again, the idea here is you're literally forcing these guys to climb ropes, right? So by forcing them to climb ropes, you get your top rope power bombs or stunners or your Spanish flies, and you get all this stuff that these new school fans really want to see, but we don't have the storytelling to normally see it, right? Because I hate seeing a move happen for the sake of doing the move. It's like, oh, they climbed the rope. Why? Why did they climb the rope? Why would you possibly do that?
Yeah.
What, this person is not known for being a top rope person. They're not known for flying. Why are you climbing the rope? So in this match, you're forcing that. You're forcing the climbing the rope, which gives you all those other spots that you may not have initially. I'd love to see it. I loved the finish. I thought it was great.
Just it's funny you say that because it just cracked me up thinking about like all the guys we've seen over the years who are not top rope guys. My favorite always being Hardcore Holly. You know, you see a guy like, climbing the rope, and of course he never hit anything. You know, but he always like you'd see it in matches. Like I was watching a couple days ago. I was watching an old SmackDown. I think it was him versus one of the Hardy Boys back in the '90s, and him climb the top. I'm like, you know, again, and he calls himself, you know, the supposed super heavyweight at that time. Like, why is a super heavyweight climbing the top? So, you know, exactly what your point. I like that because it's like it's forcing these guys to do the top rope stuff because they're up there and because they have to be up there. So I like that.
Sid
That's the
Vicious,
storytelling.
the guy that never belonged on the top rope.
I mean, Ricky, what did you think of this finish, Ricky?
It had me on the edge of my seat because I literally thought as the ref started counting, he was going to count the 3 and we were all going to be wrong. And then just for him to instantly notice the knucks on Owen's hand and just stop the count. He looked a little confused on what he was going to do, but he did call the DQ. I thought it was a pretty solid move to continue the story for this match. You know they're going to have a rematch at some point.
I guarantee you, Rob Wells was running the bell. He would have rang the bell by accident. 100%. 100%.
No one would have had entrance music if Rob Wells was there.
No, I wouldn't have had the entrance music. He's totally different. Rob fucks me every time with the entrance music. But no, I thought this was actually this match bored the shit out of me because it was two different contrasting styles. This isn't Rey Mysterio. This isn't Ricochet. This isn't Seth Rollins. This is a guy who it's ground and pound and he does some tope stuff and flying through the ropes, but it's not a lot of high flying stuff. And this is not what Logan Paul has done up until this point. So it was kind of contrasting styles. I thought the finish was great. I don't know if I've ever seen that type of finish before where referee caught on the hand still.
That's Jerry Lawler stuff, baby. That is like some old school. That is some old school like tuck the knucks in the tights and the ref sees you do it. And no. Like that's that old school. Hell, Eddie Guerrero was doing that.
Yeah,
right.
It's William Regal, the power of the punch. Like,
I love Regal.
There were so many times, like where, like a lot of times the refs didn't catch it, but then you'd have that one time where he'd do it and then tried to hide the knucks, and all the refs would catch him, and you know, like, it was always the one time where it counted, where the refs would catch him, you know, get DQ'd and stuff like that. So, you know, it's classic, and that's what I'm saying. We haven't seen this kind of a finish in a very long time. Like, you know, you don't really see DQs all that often in WWE anyways for the last 5 to 7 years. But you don't see a finish like this. And again, it was a good out for Logan because, you know, so and it's a good out for Owens because you know, he was technically Logan was technically beat, so Owens has got a gripe that he hadn't beat. But Logan's got the gripe that, you know, it was illegal, and, you know, so there's outs on both sides of the coin. So now they set up for the next match, and I can't wait to. And I agree with you, Jason, that it was definitely a little bit of contrasting styles. But I think whereas sometimes it doesn't work, I feel like it worked well for these guys because you can't always have the same guys with the same styles in the ring together. You have to have a little mix and match every now and then. It doesn't always work, but sometimes you like. And I felt that it wasn't one of their best matches on either side, but it definitely held your attention. And then especially that finish made you want to see now what they're going to do next. So
Right,
Well, and let me play devil's advocate here for just 2 seconds. I'm not going to ramble too long. Logan Paul, the big popular superstar, megastar, whatever you want to call him, right? Imagine these guys are SmackDown guys, right? Imagine you turn in Friday night, and Logan Paul's there in the ring, and he calls out Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens comes out, and Logan Paul has the cops come out and arrest him. He's pressing charges on him for using a weapon, right?
Yeah.
So, like, the most cowardly this will give you, like, for everybody who's like, oh, I'm with the Attitude Era was so great. This is your build. You can do that here. You have this guy who can be the cheap, terrible, cowardly heel, and you've got Owens, this like anti-authority, fight forever, like let's go guy that you can do these things with, and then have your skits about it breaking out of the cop car or showing back up with an SPCA vehicle, shooting cats in the ring, or whatever the milkman story was, or whatever. But you can do that, and I think it'd be super. Also, if they do that, you guys all owe me money.
Maybe they'll bring Jake Paul in and pull the Bella Twin move in the middle of a match, have him roll out from underneath the ring and switch spots quickly and roll up Kevin Owens for the win.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always like to hit them with the Nux and then drop the Nux on them and lay on top of it. I always love that. Anyway, Logan Paul ends up retaining here due to disqualification. Are they in Florida tonight still? Are they still in Florida?
Probably.
Yeah, if they're not in Florida, then your whole thing they can't do because that's different state. So if they stay in Florida,
it's professional wrestling. What are you talking about?
What?
It could be in another country and it would still work.
Saying there's no statute of limitations?
They could be in Riyadh. Okay, they could be in Riyadh, and a bunch of dudes would come out and arrest him. It's pro wrestling.
You wish a bunch of dudes came out. Anyway,
they might want to get the hell out of Florida before Jimmy Uso gets another DUI.
For fuck's sake, bro. Come on.
Liv Morgan's high. Jimmy's drunk. maybe they can get the Hardy Boys to drive them around.
I was thinking the same thing. They're going to the Usos and the Hardy are going to Tokyo drift, and nobody wins in that situation.
All right, we got the men's fatal four-way. The champion, the man, Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles. Well, why am I forgetting these fucking guys' names?
LA Knight, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and Roman Reigns.
I'm drunk. Anyway.
Jeez, be a professional.
My bad. Ooh,
we don't do that on the Independent Rewind. Okay, we don't do that.
Well, you don't have to say names on the Independent Rewind because you don't know them. So
we call everybody like Milk Tits or
what's the Muff Driver? That's
the Hoof Driver.
The Hoof Driver. That's the one.
This is Pink Top.
Pink Top.
Yeah,
this is girl who shows up at high school practice and wrestles in the backyard. Girl
who watches teenage boys play football and then wrestles in her underwear. Yeah, that one.
I'm into
That's a legit thing. That's legit. Go watch my show.
It's a legit thing. Yeah, check it out. Back in December, check one of those episodes out. You're going to find it. So anyway, we had a fatal four-way here. I think this match they could have cut short. I was not impressed with this match at all. The ending was great. I thought the ending was really good. I think AJ Styles took a hell of a shot with the ropes when he tried to go for the Styles Clash and got knocked off the ropes. I guess LA Knight hit the ropes. It actually looked like a botch. Do you think it was a botch?
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
If it was, it played perfectly into the finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was a botch. That phenomenal forum, I think, was supposed to go exactly how it went.
It's going to
Man,
be AJ Styles is going to call out LA Knight for that particular spot for why he didn't win the match. So that's just going to progress the feud with them two for down the road.
I tell you what, I don't know if you guys felt it or not, and this, I think this was the match I started to kind of just fade a little bit on. There was a hope spot there where it really looked like LA Knight was going to win this.
Oh yeah,
Roman took everyone's finisher. Like Roman he just took the people's elbow, and he was just so fired up. I mean, I was in my mind, I was like, no, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not. There's no way they're putting his belt on LA. There's not a chance of putting his belt on LA Knight, and they didn't. Roman again squeaks out a victory. I feel like this is his last couple matches. Like he's sitting in the middle of the ring, like totally confused, totally not knowing, just barely making it through. He looks smaller. I think we made that note or made that comment that he looked a lot smaller. Does anybody have any comments on this match before we move on?
Well, I mean, you knew exactly. You knew it was going to happen exactly how it did. Roman was going to get the absolute dog shit beat out of him by all three of them, and then somebody was going to have the close fall. You knew Jimmy and Solo were going to show up and cost someone the match, and then Roman was going to somehow just pick up the win out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, and see, my thing about the finish specifically was it was like, you know, like Ricky just said, out of nowhere. Like it just came like so suddenly that it's 1, 2, 3. Like I was expecting a couple of more like, you know, guys to come in. Like I was expecting like at least 2 or 3 more false finishes where like maybe Orton hit an RKO and then was pulled out of the ring, and then AJ would cut, you know, just different things.
He did get hit with an RKO.
Yeah, he got hit with everything.
But what I'm talking about is more like, you know, like a sequence of finishers in a way where it was like each guy was trying to win, and then all of a sudden one guy got, you know, like I was expecting a little more to the finish than what there was. And it was just like all of a sudden it's like, you know, one tackle, drop down, pancake, boom, it's done. I'm
surprised they didn't make it a little more chaotic. Like Jimmy and Solo just pulled AJ out of the ring, and that was it.
Yeah,
they did not do anything else with them. Like I figured they would try and jump and take each one of them out, and then just all chaos ensues between all 6 of them.
Yeah, I was expecting a lot more chaos at the finish, and it was just, you know, cut and dry, done, easy out. You know,
remember too that Roman is the end all be all. He is the heavyweight champion. He is on his way to breaking more records. When he hits that spear, that's supposed to be it. Just like when Jake used to hit the DDT, that's it. There's no out. There's no. It's it.
But again, I was expecting more leading up to the spear. I was expecting more, you know, more people trying to pull everybody else out, you know, like, and Roman then comes in and finally gets that one spear that puts somebody down for good. Like, I don't know, the chaos just wasn't there. It was just too bland, too cut and dry. It didn't make any sense especially for a 4-way like that. So,
need to get a comment here.
I think that WWE pulled a beautiful sleight of hand magic trick during that match. Because the whole time we're all watching Roman Reigns, and for the first time in 3.5 years, that match had 0 to do with Roman Reigns. That match wasn't made for him. He wasn't. He was a second. He was a third character in that match. It was only built to put a spotlight on LA and AJ. AJ, who's clearly moving in that heel direction. Right, and he's already been backed up by the Good Brothers. Right, they've talked about that numerous times. Roman clearly didn't do any conditioning for this match, which again, considering his health, I think that we are just trying to keep him to WrestleMania. Can we get this guy to WrestleMania? So that we can make all the money that we can make off of him. because I don't know what his hell's doing. He definitely didn't look as in shape. He definitely looked a bit smaller, a little more soft. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to body shame anybody.
You're
but
exactly right. He did not have the abs or the chest that he normally has when he gets into these matches.
And you could tell that they literally spotted the whole match in a way that they were like, we're not going to use Roman pretty much at all during this match.
Down a lot.
You know,
yeah,
everybody gang on him at the beginning. When he does come in, take a finisher, powder, take another finisher, powder, take another finisher, powder. Right, so it's like we're just gonna catch him off guard constantly, and then he comes in for the finish. That entire match, by the way, no idea why Randy Orton was in that. Because I don't think I don't know what they're trying to build for him. Maybe they give Randy maybe they just needed another guy for the.
Randy's going to have a one-on-one with Reigns eventually between now and Mania. I think they basically needed somebody else to take the pinfall, considering this is Randy's first big match since he's come back.
I don't know how healthy Randy completely is either. Like, you can bring somebody back and not put him in a bad situation. Like, he took no real bad bumps yesterday.
No.
He hasn't taken a bad bump since he's come back. Even though they were saying that he was probably going to not do the RKO anymore, and that has not stopped clearly.
No. But this match was all about how can we progress LA and AJ. And you noticed numerous times when AJ hit the Styles Clash, who broke it up? LA. When LA hit whatever the he calls that, who broke it up? AJ, right? So there's all of this LA, AJ, and it's just going to build into more of a story. I get it. I love it. I'm on board with it. And it does something that LA hasn't had a chance to do yet. Okay, because when LA wrestles Roman, that's not a good wrestling match. It's a fun wrestling match. It's what I like to call a car crash, right? It's a Mick Foley wrestling match. You go, someone's going to die, right? So it's big hits, it's big bumps, but it's not really. There's no technicality to it. AJ is an opponent. He's the Shawn Michaels of today, right? He's the guy you go, or the Bret Hart. You know, he's the guy that you go, I want to know if this guy can work. Put him with him. Because AJ will run you. You will run a gauntlet with this guy, and he's going to make you live up to a level, right? So I think before LA gets a real opportunity, if he gets an opportunity, he's an older wrestler. I don't know if WWE's going to go that way, which is a real shame because he's so fucking over. But if they do, I think it's big to build him with AJ first.
You really think AJ has something to do with that? I don't. I just think that they don't. He's not. I don't think he's ever going to carry a world title. He could carry a mid-card title for sure. Does he need one? Absolutely not. But I don't think. I'm not sure the age has anything to do with it because we've had some older wrestlers in the past carry belts.
But they weren't getting their first belt when they're older. The only one that I can think of is Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
He's the only one I can think of. But again, very well established, right? A lifetime WWE worker, right? This is not somebody who bounced around Fed. You got to remember that, LA Knight, he's been in 4 of the major Feds, right? He's done stuff for a long time. And is he going to get hurt? At 40 couple years old, there's a chance, right? So that's what that's WWE's real big issue right now is their inability to push these younger talents. Because right now, who are their stars? All these dudes over 40. They're not establishing any of them with new championships, though.
I feel like that's
right?
how, a lot of time. That's how they've always been. All their older stars are the stars. And everybody's coming in, like your Carmella Hayes, your Braun Breakers. Those guys are coming in. They're going to be the enhancement talent, or the guys that get these that take the losses for a while until they get to a certain age, and then they're the older guys, and then we build the new guys coming in. I think that's how WWE's always worked, right? They're the older guys.
No, I disagree with that. Well,
you saw what happened. You saw how it worked with Austin Theory, right?
Yeah. Well.
See, that's Austin Theory, but again, you look at again, once Austin found his gimmick, Austin wasn't an older guy. He was he'd already been established on other scenes like in the sense, but once he found his gimmick, he took off, like, so he was still young gun at that point, chomping at the bit. Same thing. I mean, now Rock was blue chipper. Rock came in as the son of, but again, once he found his gimmick, he took off. He was still a young guy. Same thing with Hunter. Like Hunter was a young guy. Like I don't think like. See, because you're making it sound almost like WCW and like Hogan, Hall, and Nash, and like, oh, we got all these old guys. We're gonna,
that's the other. That's the other.
Yeah.
I disagree. I don't know about that, right? Because had these allegations not come out, Brock Lesnar was going to be in that Rumble and would have been the chances possibly a big deal, right? Drew McIntyre comes from another Fed. When he was in WWE, young guy in WWE didn't give a shit about him. Push him out, right? He goes out other places, become a heavyweight champion, does all this stuff, comes back. Oh, we care. They bring in AJ Styles past his prime. Don't get me wrong, dude still kills, right? He does incredible. But they bring him in past his prime. Look at Dolph Ziggler. If they wanted someone that they homegrown and blew up into a big talent, they'd have used him. No, all WWE's doing right now is taking guys that are well established before they give them. When's the last time you had like oh my God, this guy's champion? Jinder Mahal? Because I got to be honest, the idea of them having a homegrown young talent and going, we're going to push you to the moon and actually give you something. The last time I remember that happening was the Shield, and they have been resting on that for 10 years.
Yeah.
They took the Shield and they said, these guys are going to be our guys. And listen, I believe that they go, these guys are going to be our investment for the next 10 years. These guys are going to be our superstars. But when you just take a couple guys and go, you're going to be our superstars, and then everybody else is going to be your enhancement, I think that's bananas when you have so many other options.
Yeah.
But again, we're talking about a publicly traded company where they have to be able to go, okay, who do we have? What are they capable of? How can we protect them, right? You don't protect a 45-year-old dude. You can't put a 45-year-old guy on the road 300 days a year, especially someone who's only been with your company for a year, and expect him to kill it. It's untested, unproven, right? AJ Styles is he's tested. He's a commodity. KO, he's tested. He's a commodity at this point, right? But again, those guys, they use the belts to like, okay, you got the belt. It's going to raise you up, and then we're going to get rid of it, toss it off, and then we're just going to use you to build other people up for the rest of ever. Man, like these are not Hall of Fame champions. These are guys that they're Hall of Fame for other reasons, and they had a championship, right? But Roman's a Hall of Fame champion.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Cena, Hall of Fame champion. Orton, Hall of Fame champion. Kevin Owens?
No.
Kevin Owens will be Hall of Fame, right? But it's not going to be because he was such an incredible champion. It's going to be because he had some amazing matches and was part of some memorable stuff, but he was also champion, right? So there's the difference there.
The hillbilly Jim of
yes, he'll be a mid-card champion. The Miz will be a mid-card champion, right? Or a mid-card Hall of Famer, even though dude's got a top ballot freaking.
He's a 2-time Grand Slam champ.
Dude, but look, hold on.
The roster.
Look at Christian, right? Christian are Edge and Christian in the Hall of Fame yet?
No.
No. So he's not in.
Edge is.
Edge is in, but Edge and Christian as a tag team, who, by the way, rightfully should be. But Christian's not in the Hall of Fame. That dude's a Grand Slam champion, a Triple Crown champion, multi-time. But he's never going to get. He's not getting his flowers for the shit that he's done and deserved, right? So, like, WWE does this a lot where they go, hey, we're going to give you this title just so we can hold it over your head forever. But they're not actually pushing new talent to high titles, right? It's just, they're not giving it. And I think LA Knight's going to be another victim of that. Here's this guy. He's amazing. He gets over. I mean, you have a license to print money with this guy, okay? Now, what a lot of veterans will tell you is then he doesn't need the championship. And you're right. He doesn't. He doesn't need the championship. The problem is what WWE will do is put him in a bunch of bullshit stories And just like the Sami Zayn, whoa, fucking ole, licensed to print money with Sami Zayn in multiple countries, right? He's Canadian. He's, I believe, Muslim. Like,
He's also Jesus.
You for sure. So you have a license to print money, and and all he does is reinvigorate himself again. This bloodline stuff. There was no reason he should have done that good, but he did because he's money. But they won't.
Everything he's done.
You won't, man. I'm telling you, his stuff in NXT. I was crying at the end of it when he won the NXT Heavyweight Championship. I cried. I'm not even ashamed to admit that. Okay, it was massive. Okay, but you run into these guys. Shinsuke Nakamura is amazing, but dude doesn't speak good English. Let's keep him down. Like,
how old Shinsuke? He's old, right? He's older, right?
He's older. Yeah, he's older.
He's been around a while.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on. So Roman Reigns retains. We all know.
No surprise there.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're trying to get him to Mania. I'm on the fence now. I was like, okay, they're gonna keep him till he beats Hogan's record. You know, Hogan's back now. And maybe it was just because Hogan, when they were in Florida, that he was doing all the vignette stuff for the Rumble, and we'll see what happens moving forward. I really thought I'm on the fence of them saying, okay, he's going to beat Hogan's record, but now watching him the other night was like, okay, is he in bad shape? We just don't know. Is there something we're missing here? Are they not telling us something?
Yeah.
He came in totally fucking out of shape. And is he prime? Is he right for the pick? He's not ready for. If they do Rock Roman, he is not ready for Rock Roman.
No,
Rock's not ready for Rock Roman.
Guess what? They're doing.
Rock looks more like a wrestler than Roman did the other night.
Well, it's going to be Cody Roman. So, are they going to do Rock Roman on night 2 or 1?
I don't know what I don't think they know what they're going to do now. I don't think they know what they're going to do now because of Punk's injury, and we'll get to that here in a bit.
Because of literally everything. The WWE is on its heels, and everything that they could be like, oh, well, Vince had nothing to do with TKO, and we're doing things great, and all this other stuff. Bullish. With all the stuff happening and everything running around, I guarantee you they are doing everything in their power to cover. Because here's the thing: who else's name is going to come out in these allegations, right? So
that is another thing. We can knock this out here real quick. Vince did get they made Vince say goodbye. Right? they told Vince, hey, you're gonna have to resign. They gave him a fucking chance to resign, which means that they're covering shit up to me. Why wouldn't you just say, hey, you're fucking fired, bro? You're fucking fired. We have nothing else for you. Good luck in your future endeavors.
yeah.
I'll tell you why.
No
I'll tell you why. Because half their names were in the fucking emails too.
I don't know if you caught the scrum when we got home. We flipped on Peacock and watched the scrum, and Triple H was fucking backpedaling.
Yep.
Like he did not want it. Like they asked him, with all the allegations.
It's his father-in-law. What are you going to do? Don't ask this man to dish on his father-in-law. Don't do that.
And then there was a thing that came out that the WWE was pissed off that all these media outlets were asking these questions. Well, they're fucking media outlets.
Yeah, and you knew it was going to happen. It's the hot topic.
And they follow one question after another, after another, after another. And until Triple H changed the fucking subject or figured something else, or they found somebody that wanted to know what Roman Reigns' favorite color was or some bullshit like that.
Well, and how ignorant is that, by the way? It's the equivalent of this Taylor Swift-ish. You just played a hard game. You did great. You got a ton of tackles or runs or whatever Travis Kelce does. And then they're like, what about your girlfriend? Man, look at this. Talk about this. You can do that. You can do that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But this is Saturday. This is Rumble. Let's talk about this amazing thing with these other 66 people put together, not counting.
I know what you're talking about. I get it. Taylor Swift, that's completely different than Vince and half of his fucking crew pissing and shitting on people. right? I think that's a completely different story. This is
Yeah.
the story. This overshadowed Rumble. In
Yeah.
my mind,
Yeah.
overshadowed Rumble no matter what. No matter how, if Roman would have lost his fucking belt, they'd have still asked about this fucking allegation. They never gave a shit. Like
Mhm.
if Sami Zayn would have came in and won the fucking Rumble at 30,
I was dying. I wanted it so bad,
You're the only
so
one.
bad.
You're the only one. 30.
I wanted truth.
I still think
Truth
the real story here is Zayn beating Roman. They will never do it because Zayn's not their guy. But Zayn and Roman is the story. That is the money. And there's just a million things around it that you could do with it. And they've let it sizzle and settle down for Cody. And I don't know, man. Listen, I'd rather see Cody and Dustin back in WWE together than Cody with a championship. But I understand why he wants it.
We might get it.
I think before Dustin retires, you get it. I think you get it.
Definitely coming back. He'll be back.
Yeah.
You know, the thing really quick. You know, the one person that's really happy right now that nobody's talking about him anymore? Chris Jericho.
That is true.
Yeah.
Like, now
that motherfucker's name's gonna be in them emails too.
Yeah.
You want it's all gonna come out. It's all gonna come out. And here's the name that no one's really fucking talking about. Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah.
Pritchard is there too. His wife's got.
Did you see Ronda Rousey?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yes, Ronda Rousey's like Vince is always going to have his hand in the business as long as Bruce Pritchard is there, and he's right. She's right.
Yeah.
For everybody saying like, "Oh, I wonder if Rousey's going to come back." Never, not never, not never. Now, because here, like, first the grapefruits on her to just come to no one asking her questions, no one reaching out to her, talking to her, no one. Then she's like, "Oh, hey, here's this other rat over here. Let me shine this spotlight on you." You know, Bruce Pritchard was like, "You bitch," like he was like, don't talk about me. Look at over there. Look at that.
And as much as we shit on Ronda's wrestling, she's not the greatest wrestler in the world. She's not supposed to be, right? She's not supposed to be the greatest wrestler in the world. The girl would fucking sling you across the ring if you gave her a chance.
I would.
But she has opened. She has cracked the door for other wrestlers to go. Well, Alicia Fox was fucking drunk all the time because of.
I loved Alicia Fox.
So do I, but she spent most of her time hammered because of Vince and Laurinaitis. So anyway. There will be more shit come out, and when that shit hits a fan, do not be surprised if Triple H is gone. All these people that were on this board or in this company, they tried to cover this fucking shit up over the last 6 months or year. The independent investigations they were doing with what's his name, fuck, go on, all of you. Y'all hiding it. What's Vince's daughter's name? Stephanie.
Have you not realized, like, dude, look at what's happening with Trump right now. Like, dude, man walked out of court. Okay, rich people don't get what's coming to him. The only reason Vince is getting anything right now is because he's older than Jesus Christ himself. Dude, man is what, 87, 80, 84, 80s.
78.
Whatever. He might as well be 87.
He's not going to jail.
Even if he does, he'll be there until the cameras get turned off. Right? He's not. Dude's at the last 10 years of his life, especially a guy who works that hard, who's always worked that hard. The second he stops working, he's done. Yeah. So he's going, like, they're only pinning it on him because he's got nothing to lose at this. Like, he's already done everything in the world.
And if you hit this guy for $3 billion, he's still got $20 billion left. Who gives a fuck? Like that's
it.
Infinite rich. It's the pieces of shit that are hanging on his fucking coattails that are not legit pieces of shit.
Where did you find that picture you posted?
I love it. I love it.
That's compliments to Damien.
All right, come on. We got to get back on the Rumble here.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna get off here, but Vince is out. There's gonna be more shit to come out. We will definitely have a Vince episode when the shit really hits the fan. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out that the Triple H was banging fucking everybody. So I can't wait. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Dude, if I look like that,
Triple H is banging Stephanie, and Vince was shitting on Stephanie's head.
Hey, I hate tearing up Vince because he's a big fan of hardway wrestling right there. So anyway, and pizza cutter news. Anyway, let's get into the women's Royal Rumble. Number 1 and number 2, Natalya and the returning Naomi. Steve, I'm sure you'd love to talk about Naomi all day. I see you're wearing her same colors.
I can't stand Naomi. I've never been a fan of her. Before she had this glow thing, she was like the last of the Natalya, same way, last of the divas, right? She was a fucking Funkasaurus or whatever. Like she was a Funkadactyl, right? So like she's and please understand that I believe that you can go from something like that to be good, but she's not good. She's not good. And one day she was like, I don't know, I'm gonna wear these light up boots. She wore them and people were like, I love them. And then she shaped her entire persona around. What's your favorite color? Glow. Where do you like to go to eat? Places to glow.
As well,
shut up.
When you find a niche, right? When you find a niche, you go with it. That was her thing. It was an amazing look, right? And it looked even better.
That would be the equivalent of the Dudley Boys coming out dressed in hardwood print just because they put somebody through a table one time. like that's the equivalent. That's the equivalent of Kurt Angle becoming your cowboy hero because he played a ukulele once. It's not like it'd be the equivalent of Stone Cold coming out dressed as a goddamn question mark because he said what and it got over. It's you can have this. You can be glow. You can have this glow stuff that people are into without it encompassing your entire personality. Not her. She went, I see people really like this sizzle, and I don't have any steak to offer. Let's hibachi this bitch up and just see how high the flames can go.
There's a lot. I'm sure we can go through a handful of wrestlers that it's a look over here type of mentality. Don't look at how I'm fucking wrestling. Look at my intro. Look at me come in. Look at all the lights. Look at all you're blinded by the fucking lights, and you don't see that her footwork is terrible. And we're gonna.
She is easily the worst. She's
never been that great of a wrestler.
Man, there's something I want to say here I can't say because there's no good way to come at it.
Easy there, Brian Hardy.
No.
She wasn't the greatest wrestler, but I believe she was about 10 steps behind every fucking move she tried to do or every spot there was. She either missed the spot or just blew it up.
Name a male wrestler that's that bad.
I hate to tear him up because he's sort of a local.
Just do it.
Festus.
Yeah.
I'll just say
Festus. You think he's a bad, like when he's part of like the club or whatever, you think he's a bad wrestler if he doesn't have good timing?
Okay. Now I mean singles wrestler. You said singles.
Any male wrestler. Point me in the direction of a male wrestler that can go out there and put out the performance that she put out and still have a God blessed job.
Yeah, I'd have to think on that. Yeah,
there is a massive.
They brought her back because they felt like they did her wrong. I'm sure, and
they don't care about that. It's a company. They don't give a shish about that. They brought her back because there's money to make on her.
They brought her back because she's married to one of the Usos. That's really the only reason I think they did bring her back.
Yeah, well, she did not look good from start to finish. And Natalya.
Natty. Yeah.
Natalya is, we all love Natty. Natty's the gatekeeper. She's the first person everyone wrestles when they first come in. And she, at times, is very deliberate in her moves, and you always know what's coming and blah, blah, blah. But she even was thrown off. And Natty is a fucking trainer. Natty's a fucking trainer. This
Yeah.
Natty is training Jade, and they put her in here. She shouldn't.
Well,
have
that
been training
explains.
Jade. What's that?
That explains stuff.
Yeah, well, she shouldn't have trained. She should have been training Trinity because it did not. She was bad all the way through, and the fact that she was bad and they left her in pretty
for
much
like 45 minutes, I think.
ever. When did she go out? Hold on. When did she go out? Naomi went out.
She Final Four?
6:20.
No,
and
no.
6 minutes left in the thing. She went out. She went out. Alba Fire took her out. Is that right? No.
Yeah.
That can't be right. That can't be right.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Really? Oh, okay. Anyway, so you had coming in at 1, Natalia, Naomi 2, Bailey came in at 3. Bailey had, I believe Bailey had the most eliminations. She got rid of Indy, Candice LeRae, Tegan Knox, Maxine Dupree, all the shitty wrestlers. Bianca Belair, Brian's favorite.
Tegan Knox is fire.
Okay.
And she set a new record for longest time.
She got rid
Yeah.
of Tiffany Stratton. I love Tiffany Stratton. I think
So do I.
she's the next big thing.
You think?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
big thing.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even looking at her tits. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful girl. But listen to her talk on the mic and watch her work. She's one of those athletes. She's a gymnast, but she can work. I think she can work. I think she's gonna.
I haven't seen enough, but I'm interested.
Yeah, check her out. Type in topless. No, don't do that. You had
topless Tony Storm.
yeah, I wish. Number 4, Candice LeRae. And at number 5, the TNA Knockouts champion, Jordan Grace. This was a good surprise.
Big Mama Pump was awesome. I was
Yeah.
so happy to
Big
see her.
Mama Pump. I fucking love that.
Yeah,
I love
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, she's
That's what they called her when I saw her in the Indies.
yeah. People sleep on Jordan Grace. You shouldn't. She's a
No.
fucking star. She's a fucking star.
And she is incredible outside of the ring too. Because again, I met her at an indie show 6-7 years ago, maybe.
She was
Amazing,
bigger.
hilarious.
She was bigger than- she
Oh,
wasn't-
way bigger,
Yeah,
way
she was a
bigger. It's
heavy-
way thicker. Yeah, never.
Yeah.
No, when I say bigger, I don't mean like out of shape. No, she bodybuilds for competition now, right? So like at any point in time, she needs to be able to cut weight and all that stuff, and then rip out, right? So back then, she was a big lifter, but she wasn't a bodybuilder. She was a weightlifter. So yeah, she was just much thicker. There was a lot more meat to her back then. But just incredible. Kills it everywhere she goes. Every time she touches anything, she kills it. Actually, I think she's like the highest viewed independent rewind video.
Oh, is
It's
she?
a video called "Please Don't Kill Me, Jordan Grace."
Gotcha. I have to look at that. She's great. I love Jordan Grace. I really
I'd love
wanted-
to see her go 1-on-1 with Rhea.
I don't think we're not going to see that.
There's
I'd
got
like
We're not going to see that at some point.
I think there has to be something with her. I think if WWE isn't in talks right now with TNA going, what can we do to get her on the show more? I think they're crazy because you've got Rhea, and I'm trying to think of and Damage Control. And that's it as far as like women's division stars. Rhea has been basically untested for some time now, right? Chelsea Green, I also think is a star. I don't think I think they're doing perfect for Chelsea. No. I disagree. I think Chelsea Green is like John Cena, right? I think they tell her, "Hey, do this, do this, do this." Chelsea Green can go. Chelsea Green can work. She just doesn't. She doesn't have to because she's a lot of sizzle, right? She's got personality for days. And I think they're doing exactly what they should be doing with her. I think a slow burn because I could see Chelsea Green winning like a Money in the Bank or something like that, and then coming in and stealing a championship, and it would mean so much more because she's your female R-Truth right now.
I love her.
Pretty much.
She called Triple H and said, "Hey, I want my job back," and he said, "I'll see you on Monday." Who does that? You're not doing that with Vince. You're just not doing that. Chelsea would still be out of his office right now, wiping poop out of her hair.
She can have a job.
Anyway, Jordan Grace comes in at
was
5.
shitty.
Indy, that was shitty. Indy Hartwell at 6. Asuka comes in at 7. Ivy Nile at 8. Katana Chance at 9. Bianca Belair at 10. Kairi Sane at 11. Tegan Knox at 12. Kaden Carter 13. Chelsea Green at 14. Piper Niven at 15. Xia Li. Xia Li is probably Steve's favorite wrestler. She came to the ring with swords and put them down.
That's the dumbest thing. That is the dumbest thing. Why bring a weapon to the ring? Like, I understand if it's like, I've got a Texas bull rope, but it's like back in the day when you had like Stan Hansen, right?
Yes.
Always had that rope and that bell, right? There's a chance that he might use that on you if the ref's not looking. Okay?
Or if
there's no chance this bitch is cutting you up like Cabal. No chance that she's taking them hook blades.
You just went Mortal Kombat.
It's just the dumb. I love Mortal Kombat. This new one's not. Anyway. But it's just not happening. There's no chance it's going to happen. It's stupid. It's so stupid.
Funny.
It's so stupid. You could have done so much. She could have came out with a Donatello staff, right? Still showed martial arts dopeness, and that's something that can actually be used. Nunchucks. Learn how to nunchuck.
There's a lot of that. You get a girl that comes out on a tank but doesn't run anybody over. There's a lot of that kind of shit.
That's a baby tank. I'm okay with the baby tank, and she has shot somebody with that missile before.
Wrong, because that tank has gotten bigger over the years, and eventually it's going to be the one that takes out AEW. They're going to roll right up to the fucking front door. If you have 17 Zelina Vega, Maxine Dupree.
Jeez, Zelina Vega, let's go.
18, Nia Jax at 19. I like Nia Jax right now.
I think you're bananas.
Yeah,
I like her right now. I like
because she's chubby.
They're giving her a slight push, and she hasn't hurt anybody yet. So we're gonna give her a chance.
It's like she's on a probationary period.
She hurt CM Punk. That's what I heard. She hurt CM Punk.
The only thing she's good for is my hole.
Your hole.
I think Nia Jax. Nia Jax was their answer for Rhea Ripley, right? Like, oh, let's get this immovable object, this unstoppable force, right? Let's build these two up to punish each other. And then Jordan Grace came in. And if they're not all sitting around a table right now going, trade Nia Jax to TNA for Jordan Grace, actually, you're going to have to send 4 more women over with her. So send Katana Chance and that other chick too. Send them over, right? Get rid of get rid of Unholy Union. Send them too, right? Like it's not an even trade 1 for 1. Yeah, whatever. Well, hold on. I liked Alba Fire. I liked her. You better settle down. Just take about 20% off her, sir. But I think if they aren't turning around and looking at Jordan Grace going, well, hold on, because she is your I forget it, Ivy Nile, Shayna Baszler, Raquel Rodriguez. She is all those wrapped up, right? She is all of that you want in like stunning beauty too. Like she is stunning, right? So you can put her on, and she's still young. You can put her on the side of your bus. We're talking about Jordan Grace taking Nia Jax's spot because Nia Jax sucks. Nia Jax is awful.
All right, at 20, Shotzi, 21, Becky Lynch, 22, Alba Fire, 23, Shayna Baszler, 24. They can trade her. Valhalla. They can get rid of her ass too.
Oh God, she
24 was our
she got
truth.
dumped right out.
24 was our truth.
She did not. Right. 24 was our truth. Then Valhalla.
Where's the man?
20. The best line of the Rumble when R2 said, "You mean there's men in there? Are there women in there?" That was funny.
You mean none of them was men?
That was so good.
Valhalla, by the way, Valhalla. She was in the back on Indeed looking for a new job because she knew she was going to get fired. Heard number 24, walked out, got lined right out of the ring, went right back and hopped right back on Indeed because she ain't gonna have a job very long at all.
Here's somebody else who can stand in the unemployment line with her. Mi Chen at 25. 26, Zoe Stark. 27, Roxanne Perez. 28, Jade Cargill shows up.
So I think we were wondering, is she going to come out? Like, is she going to be part of the Rumble? Are they going to do anything with her? We haven't seen her since a couple times that they've had her on television for very, very short periods. She came out and I was like, what? I wasn't sure if they were going to do it. I was like, I'm hoping they were. But when she came out, I was like, wow, they actually did it. And I was impressed. I was
the only one. You're the only one.
I disagree. I thought she did exactly what she was supposed to. I thought she did a fine job.
Yeah.
I will say she couldn't stop smiling though.
She's not perfect, but she's
used to wrestling in front of about 30 people.
Yeah, she got the Gunther smile, so
yeah,
she can't stop doing it. 29, Tiffany Stratton, and number 30, Liv Morgan. Why? Why is that?
I hated the Liv Morgan.
Why is that such a bad spot this time?
I love Liv Morgan.
Yeah,
I love Liv Morgan too. I think AJ Lee at 30 would have been huge.
Yeah, we didn't get AJ Lee. We thought we were getting AJ Lee.
Yep.
I mean, hell, you could even brought Trish Stratus at 30, even just for the night, right? She's still in shape. She's still in shape.
I think 30 needs to be an impact player.
Yeah.
I would like to see Jade come out at 30. I would like to see Jordan Grace come out at 30, but that wouldn't have been good for her.
Yeah, no, not good for her.
Being early. Bailey could have came out at 30.
You needed her to last.
No, I like Bailey being a real early number and lasting through it all, even her faction getting eliminated in the process.
All right, real quick game. Liv Morgan or Zelina Vega at 30?
Liv
Morgan or Zoe Stark?
Liv.
Yeah.
All right. Liv Morgan or Asuka?
Asuka.
Yeah.
Liv.
Yeah. Ooh.
You have to do Liv because Asuka has to get eliminated early. She has to.
Bianca Belair.
I would have. Well, but she has that Jade Cargill stuff.
Well, Jade came in at late 20s.
Yeah, but you can't put her 30 seconds for the end of the match.
Yeah, you can. You can if you're still trying to keep her a secret, right? Because I don't think she looked all that great, honestly. And maybe it's because she ran into Trinity. I don't know. maybe that's right. All right. Well, so Bailey wins. Bailey wins a Rumble. So men's Rumble, not the great.
Hey, real quick, can we go back for just 2 seconds?
Go ahead.
I'm getting really tired of this person lasted over an hour. It's not a feat anymore. Everyone there's at least 2 or 3 people a show a Rumble who last an hour or close. The first time Shawn Michaels did that, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe someone lasted that long. And now it's like, what are the best numbers to pick? 1, 2, 3, and 27. Like, what? Why? Make it difficult. We need a few years where 1, 2, and 3 don't make it past 15.
How many times did you see Trinity laying in the corner? Or laying
all the time.
The whole
I wish
show,
I would have seen it more.
When she wasn't botching or missing her spots, she was laying in the corner.
Yeah, there was a lot of what was there a triple suplex spot that she couldn't even get her opponent up for, right?
There was one time there's a spot set up and the person is standing there for like 4 or 5 just uncomfortable seconds. And then here comes Trinity run across the ring to jump in her spot.
That's when they were in the corner and she just stood there like you're going,
oh yeah,
turn around. And she turns around, the other girl's yawning already. If you can find that clip of the triple suplex, I think it's Jordan Grace and Jade Cargill both have somebody up in a suplex.
Oh yeah.
And Trinity's going. Like she could not get, and then she got her foot on the rope like it was a fucking wreck. And Jordan Grace was like, "Okay, let's just fucking dump these girls.
We're done with this.
Yeah, this fucking spot's over with." So
I
Yeah.
will say my favorite part of the women's rumble was the Chelsea Green stuff where she
Oh
kept
yeah.
She killed it. She
Smash.
killed it.
best part of the Rumble. Best part of the
Yeah.
Rumble.
She's a superstar.
dying laughing, especially just because it was like it was Nia and Piper that just kept squashing her. I was like, well, she
Well, there
is.
was a spot on the outside that Steve actually said. She probably said, "No, I'm not doing any more spots like this." Where Piper fell out of the ring and Chelsea was laying like outside
Yeah.
the ring.
Yep.
So
Oh my
yeah,
god!
Chelsea, and her facial expressions.
Yeah,
Amazing. She's
Yeah,
money.
I love it. She's money. She's absolutely money. All right, guys. We had Jay Uso and Jimmy Uso both start the men's Royal Rumble. What did you think of that, Rick?
Do you remember me calling that before
Yes.
the
We
match
both
started?
called it. We both
Yes.
called it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Thought that
both
was
called it.
pretty good spot.
I was
Uh,
fine with it. I was just disappointed Solo didn't come in at 3.
Did we ever see them work together?
no,
I don't think it was very anticlimactic.
Yeah. I'm trying
Also,
to think. I
do
can't
you
remember.
realize the crowd work? They didn't even have to touch. They wouldn't have had to touch each other. They could have spent that first minute just going, yeet, no yeet, yeet. And the crowd, they could have split the crowd in half and you'd have had yeet, no yeet, yeet. No, and it would have been crazy. And you could have had that whole arena bumping, just thumping to the point where you could feel the vibrations at home. And instead they did nothing.
3 should have been Solo. 4 should have been Rikishi. They could have gave him the sunglasses and all danced in the ring.
Yeah. Go do your dance, dance.
There's your first 5 minutes of the Rumble.
Do your dance. And then they could have brought back Lawler's kid, Zombie Lawler's kid. What was his name?
Grandmaster
Brian
Sexay.
Grandmaster Sexy.
yeah. Well, and then
Hey, Scotty Too Hottie still got it.
Hottie come back.
He's an AEW.
Is he really?
Yeah, he made an appearance on a couple of their shows over the last month.
Oh wow.
Yeah, well, everybody's in AEW because they just show up.
That's
It's
true.
like
That's
a
fair.
man's bed. You know how and Steve, you'll be able to. You know how you're getting ready to have a meeting and there's like 12 people that you don't recognize and they're not supposed to be there. They're just fucking there. That's how AEW is. Like, is that Scotty Too Hottie? What's he doing in our fucking meeting?
Who's that? Is
you
it security? No, it's Scotty Too Hottie. Oh.
You
the hell?
gotta leave, and your girlfriend. You guys gotta leave. You can't be in here right
So
now.
Who
it's
the hell
funny.
was that? Get that man
I would-
contract.
I was at I was doing a show a couple years ago. I was at a fairground somewhere, and I'm sitting right at the entrance to like a tent that we're using for a locker room. And some like older dude like sticks his head in, and I go, "Hey!" Like I put my hand up. I'm like, "Hey, this is for wrestlers only." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I know." And I was like, "Can you do me a favor and just wait outside? Like you're not supposed to be in here." Shane Shadows, the guy running the show, comes to me and goes, "Did you kick Gilbert out of the locker room?" I didn't recognize him. I was like, "You better go buy a ticket, sir." Gilbert was so cool, though. He was like, he didn't take offense to it or anything. Just from what I've heard, he's a great guy. But I apologized to him later. He's like, "Nah, man, you don't let random people in your locker room. It's smart."
No, what you should have told him is I didn't recognize you without the fire extinguishers going on your face.
Yeah, yeah.
Funny that Gilbert looks like every crackhead that hangs around wrestling matches. So it's very easy to mistake it. We did a show in Ranson one time. Was it Ranson? Nope. Yeah, nope, not Ranson. Culpepper, and it was him and Buff Bagwell, Snuka. There's one more person there, high as a fucking kite. There was so much.
Oh no.
So much fucking smoke in the locker room you couldn't even see. Anyway, all right, you had Grayson Waller at 3, Andrade at 4. Did anyone give 2 shits that Andrade showed up there? No one.
Not a
They didn't even know
single
who the
fuck was given.
No idea who he was.
Nope. If fucks were currencies, he'd be dead ass broke.
Yeah, it's almost disappointing because he came back, and I know he wanted to come back. What are they going to do with him? Absolutely fucking nothing. Like he's like
Put him in the LWO.
Maybe LWO shit. Yeah, that's. I mean,
That or
Him and Escobar had like a short moment in there too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll put him in, let him smack around. What's his name? Chico. What's the dude with the apple?
Carlito.
You better settle down. Carlito is he should have been a champion.
That's not
Carlito's
cool.
so good.
That's not cool.
He eats apples from underneath his balls. He's not good.
You ever thrown gold on an apple? It's delicious. It makes it very crispy.
Wow.
I'd rather eat Rob's fucking chips. Anyway, number five.
Let me tell you something. Those have pubes on them too, but they come like that straight out the bag.
Yeah, they don't fill their bags with air. It's fucking pube sauce. Anyway, let's move on. Number 6, Shinsuke Nakamura. 7, Escobar. Number 8, Karrion Kross. Number 9, Dominic, Dom and Mike.
Tom and Nick Mysterio.
Tom and Nick, Dom and Knight, whatever. Number 10, Apple Balls, Carlito. Number 11, Bobby Lashley. 12, Ludwig. 13, Austin Theory. 14, Finn Balor. 15, Cody Rhodes. 16, Bronson Reed. 17, Kofi Kingston. We did not get a Kofi Kingston spot.
Thank God.
I applaud them.
That is okay.
I applaud them for not fucking doing it again and
Yes.
again and again.
Yes.
15 years in a row is enough.
Yeah.
2 years in a row was enough.
I bet Kofi was in the back going like, do I have to do this match?
Please don't make me do this. Please, I do
Well,
not.
I think after last year's botch, they're like, you know what? Just don't do that again, please.
Well, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, about everything's been done by now. There's no point in going back to it anymore.
And go back. Don't do it for a couple years, and then after they fire him, and he comes back, have him do it then.
Yeah.
It'll be Reggie doing it next.
He'll be doing it in the AEW.
Yeah.
He'll be crowd surfing over lumberjacks.
18, Gunther. 19, Ivar. 20, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker's fucking money.
Yes.
Why is he not being pushed to the fucking moon?
Okay, so
Right.
I read that Breaker was the replacement for Brock Lesnar, and he was scripted to do as Brock was supposed to do. He eliminated everybody Brock was supposed to eliminate, and Dirty Dom was to eliminate Brock, setting up a chamber match between them two, oddly. So everything that Braun Breaker did was exactly what Brock was supposed to be scripted to do for the Rumble.
Braun is one of those guys like Roman, like I don't know, name a guy who should never fucking lose. Braun should be that guy. He should not fucking lose.
Right?
Well, and I think that's why they're protecting him in NXT. I think
they lack the stars. I think they lack stars in NXT. I think that's the problem. They lack a lot of stars. They're getting ready to move. Carmelo Anthony's already moved up.
Carmelo Anthony, you mean Hayes?
He's Carmelo Anthony to me. Ex-Laker or ex-Knicks.
That's everybody.
Carmelo Hayes, they've moved him up already. He's already on the main roster. I think he's still bouncing back and forth between NXT and WWE, but I think that once Trick Williams gets on his way, he'll be fine, and then they'll move Braun up. But I think Braun's going to do double duty for a while, but he's a star. The guy is a fucking star.
I think they're protecting him in NXT because there's no, you're right. He is a star. The problem is WWE's full of stars right now.
Yeah.
And there's no place to put him where you don't bury him.
Exactly.
Especially with when Roman loses that championship, and Randy Orton says, okay, that was my last one or whatever, right? You'll open up some space there, for Braun to come up and actually do big things against guys that he isn't gonna. There's no because you can't. You've seen Braun's speed, right? Like that dude hits you. He hits you like a freight train. You can't hit Roman Reigns like that.
No.
You can't because you might injure him,
They'll
right?
put him in a program with Austin Theory. They'll put him in a program with Grayson Waller, guys he's used to from down at NXT. They'll probably bring. He'll be in a. He had a great program or great matches with Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
Like, these are the guys he's going to be. He's going to be with the younger talent.
But he could do incredible things with KO, with AJ Styles. Like, these are guys that's going to push him to that next level.
Yeah, I don't know that he can hit KO like that though.
Bet he could.
Maybe. All right.
Bet he hits him with a Steiner screwdriver.
Ooh.
And here, if you think about it, right? The chances of him wrestling KO at some point is probably 70%. If you add that to the fact that he's got a 10% chance of being able to Steiner screwdriver everybody in there, you've got a 70 or an 80% chance. Now add that to the fact that it's possibly going to be in a singles match. That's a 100% chance he'll be in a singles match. That's a 182% chance. Now factor in the fact that he can't be beaten by any. He has a 4,000% chance of Steiner screwdriver
and 100%
KO.
chance that Scotty's always right.
How do I mute Steve?
How do I mute Steve? He's not being invited back.
All right, we have
Steiner math, baby. Holler if you hear me.
We have 21 almost. Almost didn't make it to the ring because he couldn't see where he's fucking going. Almost his gear was down over his head. I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
I like him so much. I just want him to be. He needs to get 20% better. He needs to be 20% better in the ring.
Enough with the Steiner math.
No, I'm not. He's not at a level right now where you can even mid-card him into anything that's going to draw money. He looks like money. But right now he's great Khali, right? That's not, and we made that mistake before. We don't want to do it again.
Yeah, I think
he's
better than great Khali.
Yeah.
I think he falls into the big man syndrome where you're very limited on this guy's not flying. I mean, I don't know what they could do with this guy. He's an attraction. I mean, that's just where he is. He's an attraction. So he's.
I don't know, man. Big Show made an entire career out of being larger than everybody else, and he still wrestled in tons of matches that were absolutely decent, right? Like, not even like no one looks back at Big Show and goes, that guy was the drizzling. At one point he was, right? When he first came from WCW, he was awful, right? But no one looks back at him and goes, wow, this guy was cancer. No. He was a legitimate, like, threat to the championship at all times, and he reinvented himself, right? To go from the showstopper to the punches to all that stuff. So, like, just because Almost is big doesn't mean you immediately get to give him a pass and go, oh, you're huge, you get to be dog water. No, you can be better, and it would do amazing things and turn him from a 1D character to a 2D character and possibly into a 3D one eventually, because you give him dimensions and from his ability to do stuff. So I think he just needs to kick it up.
Yeah, while I agree with you, my only issue with that is at this point he looks like Giant Gonzalez. Like, he can't work. He's got the size, and that's all he's got. And
yeah.
I don't know. He's very stiff. He's a very stiff character. I don't know. Again, he plays like he wrestles like a big man. That's what they have him going right now. 22 is Pat McAfee. Here's our throwaway of the night. Why would they enter Pat McAfee? To me, it was a waste. Climb into the ring, climb out of the ring, and finally just jump down off the ring. I'm sure there's someone else on this roster standing back at catering, eating cheese balls that could have went in there.
Solo wasn't even in the match.
Solo wasn't in the match?
Oh.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. Which, I mean, yeah. And I agree with you, Ricky. That was like, if they had put Solo in there at some point, I think, again, give him a chance to be dominant. Give him kind of like the Kane role in the past. Let him be the dominant guy. Let him start throwing. Like, I honestly would love to see him break Kane's record of eliminations. Not this year, but at some point in the near future. Like, give him the chance to kind of be dominant in the Rumble, show what he can do. He's not going to win it because he's not right now. He's not ready to be a main event contender, but he is on his way to doing that. So give him, some years in the Rumble where they, really make him strong, make him a threat, and then maybe in a couple more years put him, where he wins the Rumble and can challenge for a world title. Like, but I agree with you. Like, why, with you, Jason? Why throw away this whole thing? There were so many other guys that they could have used. I will say, the funny moment of that was when McAfee did get back to the ring. It was like, what the heck was that? Like, about almost standing there, but that was really the only good thing that came out of Pat McAfee going into the ring on the Rumble.
23 JD McDonough, which lasted about like 38 seconds. He got eliminated. R-Truth. R-Truth.
No, never mind. Still there.
Okay. R-Truth at 24. The Miz at 25. Damian Priest at 26, who eliminated R-Truth. CM Punk at 27. Ricochet at 28. Drew McIntyre at 29. And I know Steve loves this.
I think he's back.
I know Steve loves this.
Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, it's a wife calling me and everything.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. We switched you off. Sami Zayn at number 30. I
was stoked. Whoa. Yeah. Zayn is money. No, shut your face. Zayn is money.
R-Truth was the absolute best part of this. Just everything he comes up with is gold. The hot tag moment was great, and the fact that everybody that was still in the ring just looked at him in utter confusion just made it even more hysterical.
They tagged him though.
Yeah,
Dom did.
Made it even better.
Dom was getting shellacked at that point.
Yeah. This Rumble had no Impact players.
Yeah.
This was not impactful at all. This Rumble to me was boring. There wasn't anything that really. I know you're glad that Sammy came in at 30 and did absolutely nothing.
He didn't do anything. He did nothing.
But again, there was nobody returning. There was nobody that. I mean, I know Andrade came back. I don't fucking count that. That was horrible.
Nah, that was
Brock wasn't back because of Vince.
Yeah.
Brock's not special.
Yeah, Brock.
We know he's coming back for major stuff. We know that.
I don't think so. I think Brock's never coming back. I think Brock is now Benoit.
Well, no. Yeah, he's done. Well, I don't think he's Benoit. I mean, his wife's still here. That's a bad joke.
Is she? Is she here?
What? For today?
When's the last time you seen her?
Video conferences.
Right.
This is a puppet.
So Cody Rhodes wins the Rumble. It comes down to Cody and CM Punk. So Cody wins the Rumble. Cody wins. Bayley wins. They're going on to WrestleMania. Right now, it's reported that Bayley is going to be facing Io for her title. They have not built the story really yet. They started to. There was a lot of spots in the match where there was high fives. They were trying to do high fives with Io and trying to do, or not Io, but
Asuka,
Kyrie and Asuka, and they were like letting her hang in, that kind of stuff. So that is the story that's coming. Cody, they are reporting that Cody is going to be facing Roman at Mania.
Hey, did you guys see in the comments on YouTube?
I've not.
We got Jay Walker 187 said, what a waste of a spot. Would like to have seen Jinder in the Rumble. I agree. When Jinder wins championships and is in main events, India tunes in, and it's massive money. It's huge money. Jinder is money. Maybe not in the States, but he is money. I also thought Sheamus was going to return. I thought we were going to see something from Sheamus there too. Really surprised that neither one of those.
He's close, but not back yet. There's word he's training in the Performance Center again.
Okay. Real quick, we were talking about license to print money. I thought about this spot as we're talking about this. I don't know exact rules to how the Money in the Bank works, But could you imagine R-Truth taking the briefcase on accident, trying and cashing in and winning the heavyweight championship?
I don't
Because he doesn't know he doesn't know what he's doing. He's like, I'll take this for you, Damien. Here, I'm gonna cash. Like, this is it. I'm using this right now. And the ref's like, wait, you're using it? And he's like, yeah, I'm using it. And slips and falls into a heavyweight championship. Like, no one would be sitting down. Nobody. No one would sit down.
It would be that Kofi Kingston pop. Remember when Kofi won?
Yeah.
Everybody went absolutely crazy. That is what we need. I love it. I fucking book it.
Well, and here's how you can do that, right? Here's how you can do that. You have Damien goes for a cover on the champion. R-Truth puts his hands on top, right, to help hold it down. You get the 1, the 2, the 3, and then it's like, yeah, it's this big thing, and everybody's like, and you're winner, and then the referee reaches over and grabs R-Truth's hand and raises it up. And I'm goosebumps. My hairs are raising up. And he's just like, it would be absolute insanity.
I did it, little Jimmy.
It would be insanity. There would be nothing better. There would be nothing better. It'd be incredible.
He's got the heavyweight title. He's in the back. He's near catering, and somebody walks by, and he just takes off running.
Dude, 24/7.
Yeah.
If anybody from WWE, TKO, or whatever you want to call it, is watching, I promise, sign me as a writer. I will not shit on anybody, not for money, not for nothing. Okay, and I will give you just gems like this, and we can rule the world again. Because that's money. That is absolute money. But we'll never see it.
All right, so we know what right now what the path is for Bailey, what the path is for Cody. We had an injury, which CM Punk
Called it.
Torn bicep or
Called
torn tricep, right? A tricep.
It doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
Is this official or is this a WWE release?
It's official. Monday he is going to.
It was done during the Future Shock DDT that Drew gave him.
Yeah, so he is going to, and they asked him during the match if he wanted somebody to come out and if he needed a doctor, and he said no, he wanted to finish the match. So we honestly don't know if Punk was supposed to win or not supposed to win, but so he's coming out on Monday.
Yeah, thanks, Drew.
Drew did God's work there. Thanks, Drew.
Yeah, he cost me $90 too.
That's funny. So we'll find out on Monday exactly what the stint is, but if he is out, it's anywhere from 4 to 6 months, which means he'll miss Mania.
Go back to when he made his debut and go to the timeline I predicted before he was injured. I believe I may have predicted that correctly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually, Cody lost his tooth from a Claymore.
He did.
Jay Walker says Drew needs to calm down. Here's the thing, and this is what I will say, Jay. Both of Drew's moves, okay, and just a little background. I wrestled for 18 years, right? Both of Drew's moves allow the seller, the person taking the maneuver, to take their own bump, right? To do their own thing and sell it however they want. The Future Shock is not something that puts you in harm's way. You just fall down with it. It's not like a power bomb is something where like, oh, I've got to protect you. A Future Shock, I don't have to protect you. A Claymore, all I do is run and put my foot up. You put your hand out, you sell into it, whatever. I think that's just a mistiming and miscommunication could have happened to anybody. I think Drew is perfectly safe. And I love his aggression and his acceleration. I think it's something much needed in wrestling is that explosiveness, and he's got it for days.
I love that he's a tweener, right? Like he's not on the side of good, he's not on the side of bad. He's a tweener. He is a me guy, and I like me guys.
Well, thank God Rich Holland wasn't the one that did it.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's not. What did we see Rich Holland slide in the ring and kick somebody in the face by accident? Did we see anything like that? I mean, it's very possible. Rich Holland is a fucking animal. Anyway. Anyway, that's going to be it for a Rumble recap. We went a little long tonight, almost 2 hours, guys. Wow. I knew when we get Stevie, I knew when we got you on here, between you and Scotty, we were going to have a talk off. So, actually, Scotty was quiet most of the time.
It was all me. I'm so sorry.
No, we're good now. I appreciate you coming on. I know you're on the road in New York right now. And wait a minute. So I'm in Pennsylvania. You're in New York. Scotty, you're in Maryland.
Mhm.
And
I'm also in Maryland.
okay. I guess you guys are in Maryland. You guys suck.
Ricky's in parts unknown.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So anyway, listen, Steve, I appreciate you coming on. Tell everybody where they can find the rewind, how to get to it, and give them some info.
Check us out, guys. We put out a show every single Saturday at noon. We've got actually our next episode this coming Saturday is episode 200. So we've been doing this for quite a while, since 2020. Look us up on YouTube, Gmail, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. Everything is at Independent Rewind. We're reviewing shows. We like to have guests on. We're always interested in some fan interaction. So make sure that you request some videos. If you like independent wrestling, send us some videos to watch. If you want to be on the show, we can do something like this. We love having guests on. That goes for everybody here at Hardway. We'd love to have you guys on. Jason, I'd love to have you back, buddy. That was some of the best episodes, most fun episodes we've ever recorded.
Yeah, that was a good time. You never know what to expect when you go to someone's house in the ghetto. And they locked the door behind you, and I wasn't too scared. But we made it through, and I got to keep my clothes, my shoes, and my car wasn't up on blocks when I left. So that was a good time.
I love when Rob tries to tell me, he's like, "I've got a nice apartment." I'm like, "Your car's been stolen from right outside of your house. Like you have to have security cameras on your car. Like it's not a nice place." Hey, and here's the thing too. For anyone who shows up, anybody who's ever on as a guest, all the Members Mark potato chips that you can eat.
Wow, you just
unlimited supply.
$6.98 in subscribers right now.
He's gonna start putting them behind his. He's gonna start putting them behind his refrigerator to scare the roaches
away. You're gonna have to put your shirt back on now.
Never getting tattoos, baby. Never getting tattoos.
It's not getting there. So anyway, again, thank you so much for coming on. We're definitely gonna have you on again when we have more fucking time. And appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me and letting me run my mouth a little bit.
Listen, if you're new people on YouTube, we picked up a ton of subscribers this past week and a half. It's been great. We are on the march for 700. We are
701 above the rewind.
We want to catch the independent rewind. And we got a long way to go. I think we can do it. We want to catch those guys. And we're going to keep collabing until we steal their people. And then we're going to unsubscribe to them. And that way we pass them. I think that's the plan, right? That's the plan, boys? Is that what we're doing?
I think that works.
And if all else fails, we'll start getting bots.
Again, that $20, you can have 1,000 real quick. So here, listen, if you don't subscribe to Hardway Wrestling on Facebook or YouTube, please go do that. If you do not subscribe to Independent Rewind on YouTube, and you guys have a Facebook too, correct?
We do. Facebook, Twitter, all that.
Do not waste time. Go subscribe to both of these channels. Honestly.
Oh, and we're on Spotify.
Oh yeah, Spotify. We're all on Spotify and iTunes. Every platform except for Pornhub. I'm working on that though.
Rob's on Grindr. So
Rob's definitely on Grindr. Every time it's funny though, when you swipe left, it doesn't go. You got to swipe left 4 or 5 times before the picture goes away. Kind of a aerial photo. He's
got like 8. He's got like 8 profiles. This is Rob. This is Robert. This is Robbie.
I don't like the Rob guy, but this Frosty guy.
This is Bob. This is Bobby.
So again, go check out Independent Rewind if you've not seen it before. It is awesome. These guys talk up some independent videos, and it's not all. They're not always shitting on videos either. Steve
If you're good, we'll tell you.
Steve has got a really good mind for the business, and he recognizes things, and he points out things that they could be doing to get it better. If they ever gave him any feedback, they would get better, but they don't even know that he's around. So anyway, check them out.
We always tag their videos.
Yeah, Independent Rewind. One thing I found out by working with them, hell of an Indian market.
Love India, baby. Love India.
Some of the best wrestling is India, right? Some of his best wrestling is India.
It's so good.
So anyway, check those guys out. Make sure you go like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Also comment. Talk to these guys. They are so
Holler at your boys.
They are so geographically fucked up. They don't know where the Space Needle is or the arch is. Go check out
Look at
Rob's
the gateways. It's in Seattle.
It's the gas from the potato chips he's eating. So anyway, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys next time
on the hard way.